Hi, Annie here, and today I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite Shirley Temple movies. So if you're interested in watching that, keep watching. If not, there'll be a new video soon, so stick around. These are the movies that resonate with me for one reason or another, and yeah, so I'm going to jump right in with my all-time favorite, just 110% top of the list, no question, and that's Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. Now, this is one that has been my favorite for years and just continued to be so. I feel like there are different characters I relate to now as an adult than I did as a child, but it's just a really solid film. I love the songs in it. Shirley Temple movies all had good music in them, but this to me was particularly strong, although probably less dancing than some of the other ones, but I really enjoyed this. This one, Randolph Scott is also in it, Jack Haley is in this one, and oh, what's her name? Gloria Stewart, I want to say. I feel like that's wrong, and there's just not information on the back of these ones, but anyway, she's an actress that had been around quite a long time. I believe was the old lady in Titanic, and she plays kind of Shirley Temple's older cousin in this, Rebecca's older cousin. But anyway, this is one I really like. I do think that it's kind of about making your own happiness, actually, like finding the good in situations and being positive, which many of her movies are. This one just always particularly really resonated with me, though. And yeah, the song in it, If I Had One Wish to Make, This Is the Wish I Would Choose, I think also really struck me. I do that idea of like the quiet life in the country, which isn't necessarily super quieting, and the plot line is pretty solid in it as well. The next one I have here, and this isn't my second favorite or anything like that, the rest are just kind of like in no particular order, is Little Miss Broadway. This one stars Jimmy Durante and George Murphy as well. She plays an orphan who is kind of adopted by a hotel manager, and then at like an entertainers type hotel. And then the next door neighbor is complaining about noise and trying to buy the property and kind of get them all evicted. And she ends up befriending the son of the owner next door. So this is kind of quite a cute movie. Again, some good song and dance numbers, which you'd expect with Jimmy Durante and all that. But another cute one if you haven't seen it. Again, she's a tiny bit older in both this one and Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm as well. So the next one is Curly Top, where she is around 4 years old, I believe, in this one. Some amazing dancing. Her and in the movie, her older sister play orphans who end up kind of getting taken out of the orphanage to live elsewhere. Shirley's character was never quite happy there. She was always a bit too much of a rebel for the people that ran the orphanage to be happy, but they end up somewhere else, and her sister, who's significantly older than her, she decides to play matchmaker for, and then kind of the story unfolds from there. But it is interesting to see her so young in this, because she really is the same person that she was as an older person, really sparkles on the screen, really delightful to watch, and you can see why a casting director or a producer or director or anybody would be interested in having her there. Especially, there's just a lot of moments where she really sparkles. I mean, she does in all of them, but at 4 it's just a little bit more impressive to see somebody so young doing it so well. The next movie I have is Stowaway. This was one I don't think I ever watched when I was younger, but was one I kind of came across when I was seeing what other Shirley Temple movies were around. And Robert Young is the male lead. This originally is set in China at the start of the movie. Parents were American missionaries who then had passed away in like a fever or an illness or something, and she's left in an orphanage, having known China her whole life, and stows away as it is. And that's kind of the way things go, and as they decide how to deal with this little orphan stowaway that's in their possession. And the final movie I have here is Wee Willie Winkie. This is a John Ford directed picture that had just an amazing cast of Cesar Romero, C. Aubrey Smith, and other faces you recognize, but I can't think of off the top of my head. I'm not even sure I know their names. But originally a story by Rudyard Kipling, and then turned into a film. Now this is, again, like, it's out of the realm of kind of the knocking stuff here, out of the realm of the normal Shirley Temple movies. It definitely feels more like a war picture. It was made in 1937, so kind of just as they were gearing up for World War II, although it is set in India. It does have a John Ford feel to it and a Western feel to it, despite not being a Western. It's, I'd say, a more of a grown-up picture, although it is still clearly child appropriate and all this stuff. It does have it feels a bit more adult, more like the more traditional movies from that time, not necessarily one that was targeting kids the same way. Although all of her movies, I will say, none of them necessarily feel overly childish. There are ones that are certainly clearly more family pictures, but none of them feel that particular, just like we're only children would be more engaged because the stories don't quite make sense, or, you know, anything like that. The movies are pretty strong that way. So if you have favorite Shirley Temple movies, let me know below. I'd love to hear some of yours, or if you've watched any of these, or just any of your thoughts on this in general. It is you know, an interesting thing. Her movies so often represented, like, hope and being positive in bad situations. And I think this is one of those things that, although it was never an intentional choice I made, I watched a lot of these growing up a lot, and I think that has left a mark on me. I think it is how I try to deal with bad situations or tough situations. I'm not sure I always succeed, but it is something that I think has left an imprint on me, whether I like it or not. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Like I said, let me know your favorite Shirley Temple movies, or if you've never seen a Shirley Temple movie, I'd be really interested to hear that as well. And I'll see you soon. Bye.